I done got music to go back for a long time, you know what I'm saying? One of the first tracks ever, you know what I'm saying? Letter to My Son, that shit. Boy, I put everybody on that album. Everybody. Then I heard you from East Memphis, and I was like, oh, shit.
I appreciate it. Shout out East Memphis while I'm
always shout out to the East, bro.
Indeed.
You feel me? So,
he done pulled the fucking video.
He gonna pull everything.
That's another thing. You gonna see everything we talk about. This nigga
you say he gonna.
That's podcast Jesus, bro. That nigga fingers is holy. You hear me? He can do anything, bro. That nigga look up anything and everything. But, man, we just grateful to have you here, bro, fucking with us and coming on, bro. I just want to start out right now, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
First off rip. Now, I've been watching, I didn't see not this video. I didn't see the video when you in the so-called studio, the mattress on the wall, what the fuck that you had going on there?
Yeah, that was soundproof foam. A lot of people think I was in the closet, but I turned my bedroom into a studio.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Bed, everything, and
that's
no dressing, no nothing.
So Hustle and Flow shit.
Man, I want
Hustle and Flow was an inaccurate depiction.
Definitely.
of everything. Yeah.
I was just talking about
like that.
The wall.
No. Hustle and Flow, they was using like Apple crates or some shit.
Yeah. Right.
No, it was soundproof foam. I built the booth, so it was real, real 2x4s. It was a whole frame.
Okay.
So it's soundproof. As soundproof as I could make it, but it wasn't nothing like Hustle and Flow and sweating bullets and tapping on the drum machine.
That shit was disrespectful.
Talking about I had a song in my head all these days. It wasn't nothing like that, and it wasn't the size of the dog getting the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
Hey, look what you're talking about. The whole studio, and they start going in on that shit.
I ain't let a nigga in Memphis sound like that yet.
That one.
Never, and I get tired of motherfuckers talking about
Sweaty Maine the only one. He the only one ever in existence.
Bro, come on, bro. I hate it.
So my studio was nothing like Hustle and Flow. Not even a little bit. Shout out Craig Brewer though. I fuck with the idea of it.
Yeah.
It just was a bit,
extreme.
Yeah, it was a stretch. I was like, where the fuck? We ain't nothing like this.
I want to start like close to the beginning as for me as I can remember. Like I said, starting with Letter to My Son. For me, it was one of the first songs I ever heard. Well, the first song I ever heard from you.
Yeah.
Was that like where were you in your rap career when that came out? When they got hot?
You gotta forgive me. My timelines be out of order.
See, you really
Letter to My Son was out.
Lito remember everything.
Yeah, and he do all them drugs, so it's crazy that he can remember all this shit. But Letter to My Son popped maybe a year or two after it was recorded. So that's why the timeline get kind of fuzzy, because when I actually recorded it, I was a pharmacist.
The fuck?
Yeah,
fact.
I was an unlicensed pharmacist.
Oh, did you do that one time?
No. I mean, clear that shit up quick.
No.
But by the time the song, took off, I was all the way involved in, well, for the most part, I'll say 80% involved in music. But we was already doing shows and everything, so other songs were taking off in the city, and that shit just took off on the internet. And this was a time when I really wasn't familiar with it. I don't think nobody was really familiar with the internet other than Soulja Boy. I don't think nobody really understood it. Yeah, so, it was a super learning curve, because, that was the first time I experienced I guess an audience that I didn't have to physically go, in front of. Right. Because before that, you had to go pass your CD out.
Right.
And,
pull up somewhere.
Yeah. And then the internet that shit just did what it did. And I guess I've been a child of the internet ever since.
Well, you dropped on the internet, like, what was it? What was the site first? I mean, was it like MySpace? Was it SoundCloud? Was it YouTube? It was YouTube. Okay.
Well, I seen all them Soulja Boy videos. And when I first saw it, I'm old enough to understand now that everything's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. So when that was going on, I don't know. I wasn't. I come from a different place, so it wasn't ever. when I was Soulja Boy's age, I wasn't dancing. I wasn't ever dancing, but you know, when I was his age, you know, I wasn't that one.
They didn't register as something to do.
Right,
like,
right. So seeing him do it, at first it was annoying to see. Yeah. And then, you know, like I said, but the internet was a new thing. Mm-hmm. And as I saw it climb, and I saw how much popularity it had gained, because it's still, you know, it was for kids. It wasn't for me.
Right.
Yeah. Even though I was, you know, fairly young. But either way, you know, seeing how you know, how that shit really gravitated, that's what made me say, all right, you know, let me try this YouTube thing. Yeah. And I never been one for gimmicks. So early on, I had to kind of like figure out what my gimmick was. Because, you know, no matter what, in entertainment, you know, it is a gimmick. Yeah. So I had to, you know, I sat down, took a very long time for me to place it. But what you know, the conclusion I reached was my gimmick is that I can rap. I don't have to do all the extra shit. I don't gotta, you know, be a fucking show pony. I know how to rap. I know how to make my real life rhyme. And, you know, it took seasoning for me to get to the point I am right now, which, you know, as far as the, you know, the creation process. But once I figured that out, I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rap. And, you know, we're going to see what happens then. I'll show people that I can really fucking rap. And that's crazy. The videos before this is a video from, I can't remember. It's a Maybach Music freestyle.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I rapped on that, and I rapped on it because up until right then, every person I had heard rap on the original song, they couldn't quite catch. Like in that beat, they got a odd bar. I don't know why it's designed like that, but it's designed with an odd bar. And everybody that rapped on the song kind of avoided that odd bar. So when I rapped on it, that was the point. Then fast forward, once shit started picking up for me, I sat down with the Justice League, who produced the original song. Yeah. And that was one of the things. They were like, man, you know, ever since they watched that, they fucked with me. They was like, man, nobody attacked the odd bar, and you know, you went in and you know, you handled it. And I was like, you know, I appreciate that. And you know, that's a whole nother story. But they had enough respect for me to, I want to say at that moment they was charging like $40,000 a beat. None of my shit came out from Interscope, but they was charging like $40,000 a beat. We went in the studio, we did about 5 records, I think, and they charged me $40,000 total for it, off the strength. And you know, that shit meant it world to me. Even though, you know, fast forward, no album came out under Interscope, but that's that's a whole nother. You know, that shit just happened how it happens.
When you popped on YouTube.
Oh man,
what was
the huge ass shirt?
Them big ass pants. Them boys are 44. Ooh, got the nerve.
Yeah, buddy.
I know the big ass
like
t-shirt
2000. That might be like 2008 or some shit.
That's a Sean John shirt.
Yeah.
2008 was he wearing?
But if you look behind me, you see the mixing board and all that shit. Yeah. You see it's an actual booth. Built behind.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, you know, and again, that's my bedroom. So I slept on that couch, and every day, all day, all I did was record.
That's loud. Yeah. So when you got on YouTube, like your first couple of videos, and like you start looking at your audiences, what was like one of the first market that you looked at and said, damn, like
I never paid attention to that.
You didn't?
No.
So you didn't know where you were getting,
now.
Like
now what I do,
to you at.
I got people that, you know, my distributor Connect, they do all of the
like the market research and all that.
Yeah, well, you know, I got access to it. I just don't like Star's a complete opposite. Star could probably tell you how many people in Zimbabwe listen to his music. But for me, I don't like I don't want to get so caught up in that's what I start focusing on when I make my music. I don't want to see when I got X amount of people that live in fucking Raleigh, North Carolina, and now, you know, I'm catering my music just for people in Raleigh.
Just because you know
that's what I'm saying. You know,
that don't mean you got to cater your music. That's just I know I can go when I pull up, and I know it's gonna be some people. I
look for that when we talking about shows.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I ain't talking about like not in your music.
No, that's what I'm saying. All the way up until I started booking my own tours. I don't look at the numbers. I couldn't tell you where nobody's listening from nowhere. But I try not to pay attention to the numbers because I don't want to get caught in the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I don't want nothing to dictate where I'm going creatively.
Yeah.
A lot of that shit happens self-consciously. You will sit down and say, oh man, this song did fucking 4-5 million streams or whatever the fuck. Now, you wind up sticking to whatever that song was about. I've watched people do it.
Chasing the sound.
Right. They start chasing it. And I'm like, that's the last thing I want to do. So I pay no attention to the numbers. Okay. I'm aware of in a general sense.
Yeah.
But I don't, I try not to do the deep dive until maybe like, if I'm for to go do if we for to go perform, I'm gonna hit them and tell me what's the top records in this city. Or, tell me the top cities, when we're trying to gauge and we're trying to put a tour together. But other than that, I try not to look at it.